Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited. So I'm super fangirling over here because I have Melissa and Amy. They are the creators of Speaking Simlish Podcast. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh my gosh. I feel like now the tables are turned.
I know.
I was on your guys' podcast. Now you can be on mine. And here's the difference. You guys actually know how to edit really well. I'm shit at editing. So just giving you that heads up right now.
Amy's shaking her head. I know how to edit. I will accept that compliment. I don't know how to put anything fancy in, but I know how to cut out all the bullshit.
The ums.
God. Oh, I don't know how to do the ums. So I feel like we should have an counter at the end of this. And anybody who can guess how many ums were said will win a prize. They'll win a stuff pack.
Done. All the amount of times that I have to interrupt Melissa and say like, hey, we're going to have to cut this out. And then I just let out a really big burp.
Okay. So I don't have the level to do that. So like if you burp, it might be in here.
Perfect. Love that so much for me. And, people will just
going
really
to be our true
really
authentic selves.
Again, we were chatting before here, and Melissa and Amy look like they are ready to take on the world. I am in my fiance's sweater and the same tights I've worn for 4 days straight.
We are peacocking. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, we've been doing this since we met each other, basically. Right, Melissa, I would say that we were both on the same wavelength almost immediately for this.
Yeah.
And for background, if you don't listen to Speaking Simlish, Melissa and I know each other from grad school. So, that's a bonding experience in itself. And
as a trauma response.
Yes, it is. And grad students are expected to speak at conferences and present original ideas. Terrible. So we would dress up, makeup, bright lips, bright clothes, in the hopes that people would just pay attention to that and not really fight our ideas in any way. And that's what we're doing right here, right now.
Yeah. Please look at the colors on my eyes. Don't listen to what's coming out of my mouth.
I love it. Now, this is the first for me. I have to take my headset off because my laptop's going to die. And I forgot it's plugged in with the Christmas tree and the Christmas tree's not on.
I love that. When she takes her headphones off, let's just really take this in a weird direction, make it super weird.
Oh, I'm keeping this in. So you guys can keep this in any way. And then I will just have to guess what you guys are talking about. Okay. So just give me 10 seconds.
Excellent. Soul Simmers, welcome to Speaking Simlish,
the podcast where we talk about everything The Sims. Today we're here with Stassi for another wonderful interview.
We just absolutely took over and introduced Speaking Simlish.
We just did our intro.
Self-plugging. That's why we're here.
Shameless.
100%. I just felt so, because as you guys were talking, my laptop was like, you have 38 seconds left. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh,
what a warning.
Yeah. I love this warning because I have a mom answering email laptop. So it now has over 100 gigs of CC on here. And it just it reminds me every day how much it hates me because it can only function on the battery. And because I have a Christmas tree here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for everybody, giant ass tree.
Wow.
So this is a 8.5-foot tree.
Whoa.
And I have a second tree upstairs in my office. So this is my fun tree. So this has all my stuffies. I got some homemade ornaments on here. This is my fun tree. And the upstairs one I like to call is my tacky because it's just Christmas balls, beads, and tinsel. Mm-hmm. And you need both. So anyways, so this is usually where I work. And this is being filmed on a Saturday and my fiance likes to sleep in and my office is right outside our door and that's not fair to him. So I come down here and work at my kitchen table and do these. But now the Christmas tree is here. I can't get to the plug. So we have to climb. We had an extension cord and it was fantastic, which was probably not sure. I have to climb under the tree to turn the tree on. So Again, thank God that was not shown. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep my laptop plugged in here. It's fine. It's good to go. So, and then I'm like, oh my God, the Christmas tree's not on. That means my laptop's not plugged in. If my laptop is not plugged in, I have maybe 30 minutes of life on it without it wanting to die. And this is a new laptop. I've only had this for like under 2 years. I'm testing this baby to the max, like without a doubt. But I hope to get, to build my own gaming PC.
Nice.
After the wedding, because it's a very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. People are like, I'm like, yeah, so much is a gaming PC? Like, I don't know, like $2,000. They're like, ah, that's just $2,000 for one thing. It's like $5,000. And I'm like, what? That's insane.
Yeah. Amy and I are both on our beastie gaming PCs.
We are desktop supremacists.
I'm on my Vizio book. This is what it is. Anyways, I feel like this is a fantastic segue. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Go for it, Melissa.
Oh, my. Okay. I'm Melissa. I've been playing The Sims for 16 years. I think my favorite iteration would have to be 3, but I've been playing a lot of The Sims 2 lately, which has been super duper fun. And in my free time, I also like playing like other like cozy games like Stardew Valley, and I'm really into Cozy Grove right now.
Cool.
Just all around gamer girl.
Oh, I like that. Amy,
how about you? The top front like pieces of your hair.
Huh?
Oh, it's an e-girl. E-girl.
Yeah, e-girl hair. Dye the top. Yeah, just dye this like purple, and then you'll be complete.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, perfect. Immaculate vibes.
And if I was near you, I would practice out my hair dyeing skills, because that's something I, again, would want to do. I could just bleach the little bits right here, and then we can use any color you want. It's perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Match the eyeshadow.
Yes.
I've never had colorful hair.
Pardon?
Never.
I've never had
colorful hair.
Really? You've never had fashion colors in your hair?
I wasn't allowed to have colorful hair as like a teenager, and so I just never did it.
You would suit it.
You would 100% suit it.
That's why I explained my like outrageous clothes to my coworkers. I'm like, oh, I wasn't allowed to do this as a teenager. Now you have to deal with it. Now it's your problem.
Okay. Well, Melissa, what fun color would you dye your hair if you could?
I'd probably just do black, to be honest.
Huh.
Goth girl for life.
That's fair. But like, okay, what about goth girl for life with a little fun color in the front?
Probably red or white.
Oh, I would like white.
White would be cool.
I think white would be really cool. I like it.
It would also be very hard to maintain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm so lazy that like, this is my natural hair. I haven't done anything to it. Like, I can't deal with keeping up with my hair.
That's fair.
This is my natural hair color too, Melissa.
I know. Oh, I didn't say natural hair color. This is my natural hair texture.
Oh.
Like, I washed it a few days ago, and this is what it is.
Same.
Okay. Okay. I have to ask you guys this. This is not a Sims question. Since COVID, do you guys wash your hair as often as you used to?
I was already pretty lazy with it.
Okay.
I'm like every 3 to 4 days kind of chick. Because you can train your hair, right? That's the whole point. Lots of people took the time in the pandemic to train their hair to not need it to be washed as long.
Yeah.
Like as often.
I'm probably washing it more just because I'm bored. And I'll be like, I'm going to take a shower and just stand under the water for 30 minutes. And if my hair gets wet, I might as well wash it. No, I'm also every 3 to 4 day.
Okay. I feel like you guys are going to judge me. How long do you think I can go without washing my hair? And this is a trust tree, guys. No judgment.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say 2. Yeah.
Yep. 2 weeks. I've traded up
product in between. Like, do you dry shampoo?
Nope. My hair is just so naturally dry that any of the natural oils that come through has actually not only like made my hair grow more throughout the pandemic, it's actually growing healthy.
Yeah.
So I only wash my hair twice a month.
Yeah, that's nice though. I'm just an oily bitch. Like, oh my God, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah. I've already said like shit like 8 times. You're fine.
I'm pretty sure I said bullshit. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, this literally says in here, expect swearing, hence being unplugged.
Less.
Good.
You are trying to censor an English woman.
Oh, it's impossible.
It's zero impossible. I expect at least like 10 fuckers out of here. And if I don't get that, then I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, sorry. I will never let you down like that, you fucker.
Thank you. Or call, like, thanks for Ted Lasso. I know a wanker is now definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyways, Amy, I feel like we've missed you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your sim history.
I was born and raised in the mountains of North Carolina. I don't know what they're talking about with my accent. No, I'm kidding. I'm from London. But Melissa and I met in grad school in America. We immediately bonded over makeup, and then The Sims pretty rapidly followed that. I think it was like, hey, I like your eyeshadow. Hey, I like your lipstick. Do you play The Sims? And that was it. I've also been playing since The Sims 1, but The Sims 1 Deluxe Edition.
Yeah.
So whenever that came out was when I picked it up and was playing it. I think that either it was gifted to me or my brother was gifted it and he just gave it straight to me. And this is a little plug for one of Stacy's previous roundtables, but the one where you were discussing women and gaming, and talking about, like traditionally like feminine or masculine games. I do believe that that's exactly what happened. He was given The Sims. He's 6 years older than me too. So maybe he just wasn't there, but immediately passed it over to me. Because I think it does have that connotation of like a girly game situation. But there's nothing casual about how I play The Sims. So
there's nothing casual about you.
That's quite true. Thank you. I am very high maintenance. So been playing since Deluxe Edition, played every iteration. The Sims 3 actually caused me to take my biggest break from the Sims franchise completely. And that was just because I couldn't play it. Like my computer literally couldn't run it. Right. But I would say it's probably my favorite too, which is, gosh, I'm a glutton for punishment, I suppose, aren't I, saying that? Like, I can't play the game and it's my favorite.
It's a toxic relationship. We both have it.
Yes. But when you play The Sims 3, it's different than any other iteration that we've had thus far. And I think that we're getting on some kind of a right track with The Sims 4. It's difficult to maintain good faith for the length of The Sims 4's lifespan, I think.
Yeah. Did y'all see that?
The Sims 5 might be where I thrive,
Yeah. There's an announcement that they have content planned for years. So buckle up.
Yeah.
But when The Sims 3 works, it is such a joy.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a joy to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also such a frustrating fucking game.
It's the problem child. It's like, sometimes it's great. And sometimes you're like, I think we've turned over a new leaf. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, this is still the problem child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, leads me to, we'll talk about some Sims preferences and then we'll talk about your podcast. Cause I got a couple of questions. I like to ask these. I am hosting a roundtable tomorrow to talk about Sims 5. I've been asking questions for, I don't know, maybe a couple months now. Like, what do you think the Sims 5 is going to be? Holy shit. People are not afraid to talk about their opinions for Sims 5. I think they have this giant wish list that I don't think is doable to say the least.
Yes.
God, no.
They want open players. If I hear werewolves and fairies one more time, I'm actually going to lose my brain. Drivable cars, mostly open world. Everyone just screams open world. Now, I know we talked a little bit about this when I was on your podcast about Sims 5, and we were kind of like, I kind of want to keep open world. I want to be able to turn it off and turn it back on whenever I feel like it. Has that changed at all? Like, have you thought about it being always an open world or anything that you want from the Sims 5?
So what I really think we need to take into consideration is with The Sims 4, they're really gearing it for all players and not just, gamers who have a beast of a laptop, a beast of a computer that can run the game. So unless they're willing to abandon that audience they've already created, they're going to have to do something, either a limited open world where you have the same neighborhoods like you have now, but maybe every lot in the neighborhood is open, which I think would be my preference if we can't have a traditional open world like The Sims 3. And maybe that's for the better, just because Sims 3 is a problem child. I don't think I would be disappointed if that's what it was. I do think if we were lot locked like we are now, I would feel that disappointment.
Okay.
Just because you're going forward in the series, you want more, you want it to work better, you want more stuff. And The Sims 4, especially early on in its lifetime, it just felt like such a step back.
Yeah. Would you say that Sims 4 has become better the last, 7 years of it being out?
No. No.
It has. No.
It has.
Okay. The Sims 4 from release to now is better.
Yes. In comparison to The Sims 3 and even The Sims 2, no.
I would say that The Sims 4, where it is right now, is better in the end of life cycle of The Sims 3, because at the life cycle of the end of Sims 3, you were picking and choosing the packs that you could actually use. And that is not how The Sims players generally work, I don't think.
That's fair.
Like, we are a community that wants everything, right? And then we want even more, because there's a ton of people that play with mods and CC for not just The Sims, but build by and all of that. We are a community that wants it all. So the only thing that I would throw in Sims 4 favor, and please come at me and disagree with me, but for right now, the fact that my computer, which is not a high-end gaming rig, it's middle of the road, completely. The fact that I can play with everything, minus kits, because fuck you.
Amy really wants that game changer title.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Okay. That's okay, Amy. The next question's kits. Like, I swear to God, I had that queued up because fuck kits too.
We are so good at transitions.
So speaking of kits, but no, Amy, I do agree with you. As the top of this, my laptop was literally dying. This laptop's $700. It was nothing special. It was on sale. Its primary function is to answer emails and do Zoom calls. But I am able to do everything I can in The Sims. I mean, it's very laggy some days, which makes me want to, blow my brains out, but it's a game. Of course it's going to be laggy.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I can use CC. Like, if I had any more of like an intense game of like what I'm concerned about is if it's an open world, my sim I won't be able to move because of the lagging issue. Yeah. Right. So I think that's something that they have to put in to consider as well. Now, the argument that I know The Sims is going to have, because like I'm marketing what they're doing, it makes sense. What they're going to say is, well, you want to play The Sims? If you want to play the full Sims 4 experience, I think it's like over $500 now. That's a lot of money more. I mean, with all the kits and shit, it really just depends on your currency level as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
To us, kits are $8, which is stupid.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the conversion rate, but they're $5, right? $5 US.
Yeah, $5 US.
Yeah, they're £4 because I usually talk to a lot of UK people, and they're like, it's £4. And I'm like, well, it's $8 here. And they're like, well, that's expensive. I'm like, well, that's what conversion works out to. So I think they have to understand that like The Sims is a very expensive game. And if you want to play it to its full, hardcore simmers will go buy computers because like The Sims demographic typically is 18 to 35. And then anything above that it's there, but it's not their bread and butter, right? 18 to 35 usually do have more disposable income, especially the 18 to the 25 part. So they're able to spend a couple $1,000s on buying a new computer because they don't have a mortgage or bills or kids, right? They're in university, and depending on who pays for their university, they could have disposable income. So I can see where Sims is coming from. We're going to build a game that requires a bigger computer for the demographic that has disposable income. Yeah. So I can kind of see like where they're going with that. But at the same time, you're then eliminating a ton of people, which is also not smart either.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with The Sims 5. Like they were saying it wasn't happening. It wasn't on the books. And now it's on the books because now it's being made in the UK. And I think we're going to see a trailer for it in 2022. And I think we're going to see it first quarter of 2023. If that's my prediction. If I was marketing, or I can't see it Christmas. I can't see it because like not only could it's not a Christmas game that you want to put out. This is a lifetime game that you're going to hold with them. Yeah. This isn't like a Call of Duty that it was fun and then you throw it away. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think we're going to see more stuff for it. Now, I did see that EA has said, and Melissa has also said that there's years of content and that they are working on another expansion pack. What are you hoping it's going to be?
That's a really good question.
I actually haven't had any thoughts about expansion packs. No thoughts. The head empty.
No thoughts, just vibes.
Honestly, at this point, I really want more base game updates just to fix what we have rather than shelling out new content. Okay. It's not a perfect game, but right now I have everything I feel like I want.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't know what to ask for.
You'll take that back.
I mean, probably, but I don't know what to ask for.
Generational gameplay.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't play generationally, Amy.
Yeah, but you don't play it because it's not there.
Touché.
Yeah. Touché.
Yeah.
I think that's the other part that Melissa and I talk about a lot when it comes to The Sims, and that is choice.
Mm-hmm.
If the gameplay isn't fleshed out, then it's not a real choice.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And more power to the people that play generationally and play vanilla, like a vanilla game, because I don't know how they do that. Mods to bring, schools to feel more realistic. The fact that, and maybe we'll see it a little bit more with what they've got going on with the neighborhood stories, which is glorified story progression, right? Just the new term for it for The Sims 4. There's an for your counter.
I've lost count. I had a list of over 20 and then that was like 30 minutes ago.
Bless you for keeping count. I lost count after 5.
I didn't even bother starting.
I got distracted.
I love it.
But yes, like the idea that playing through when legacy challenges and like 100 baby challenges and all of these things that involve multiple generations are so popular within the community, it just feels like a real bummer that we're where we're at after they know what the most popular expansion pack was for The Sims 3.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know that we don't really get like hard data, like sales and things to sort of show for it when it comes to expansions and things like that. So it's difficult.
It's really frustrating for me
to justify it, right? But in my gut, listening to the community, Generations was the most popular Sims 3 pack. So the fact that we are where we're at in 4 and we don't have a true replica for that, Parenthood does not count.
No. Okay, if I wasn't a selfish person, I would have said Generations, but I'm selfish and I myself don't need it. I honestly have more wants for like game packs rather than expansions. Just because at the lower price point, I feel like they're a little more, when they're done well, they're a little more fleshed out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm always thinking of vampires. That game pack was so good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would love I'm so sorry. A werewolf. I would love a werewolves game pack. I would love a fairies game pack. I would love
Elsie's about to fucking hang up.
I know. She's just going to end the call.
Okay, hey everyone, it's been a pleasure. We're going to wrap this up. It's been fun. Thank you guys so much for coming. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, sorry, go ahead.
I want more chaos in my game.
No, that's fair. Now, like for my personal gameplay, has that changed since the last time I talked to you? If anything, I don't have time to do anything anymore. I have literally Rose Chronicles takes up all of my time. And then anything underneath that is fun time, which I've really gone into Create a Sims because it's so much easier to do Create a Sims than builds because it takes less time.
Right.
But I just kind of want working horses at this point. And I understand what comes with that is being greedy. I just need it for my story. Melissa, I'm with you. I'm selfish. I don't give a shit what the rest, like anybody in the community can have whatever you want. This is what I want. I want horses. And I don't know, like I want more of like a magical realm. And instead of it, like, whatever the one that came with the magic kit, I think it's like Glimmer or something. It starts with
Glimmerbrook.
Glimmerbrook.
And then you have the portal.
It's just called the Magic Realm, I think.
Yeah, the Magic Realm.
No, like I want to have it like that, or even have more like a medieval castle stuff, just because building castles in The Sims 4 sucks. So hard. It's so hard because the windows suck. The doors suck. There's nothing for castles. There's no, I think that's, if I had to scream at EA, I'm going to do that. But I'm the furthest person away from ever being an EA game changer. So they're never going to listen to me. I said that's straight.
If I could just get the vibes of making magic back.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I agree.
Yeah.
Selfishly, that's the only thing I want.
The thing that you've brought up there is like something that I love about The Sims 4 is the fact that we can travel to all of the different neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
If I live in Oasis Springs, I can travel to San Myshuno, something that we didn't have in 3 that worked effectively. You kind of had to move your whole life, or you had to have a mod to do it, the Traveler mod. And what you've pointed out there is a limitation, I think, of what we do have where everything is open. It makes it harder to have like that true fantasy realm. Yeah. Because Willow Creek is always going to be there and those Sims travel freely. So you can't have that magical kingdom that you want, right? And at the same time, and this is so tough and why I don't envy EA, I hated being confined to the one world in 3.
I agree.
Because sometimes you outgrow that, especially when you add in all of the packs. It became, no matter the size of the maps, because compared to The Sims 4, The Sims 3 maps are huge. You still ran out of space trying to fit everything in that came with all of the packs. But you could have that more, it was more isolationist, I guess. But you could have your fantasy world. And they had those. Like they released them on the store as well, right? Like this is your weird, creepy, haunted world. Here is your dragon medieval world. You know what I mean? They had the themes running through. And it was a lot easier to do it that way.
I agree.
I think if they did, I'm sorry, I'm going to say another sin. If they did a world kind of like Batu, kind of like frack. What is that called? The one where you go in jungle adventure.
Oh God.
Salvadorada.
Thank you.
Wow. Somebody came to play today. That wasn't even in the talking points. You just had that in your back pocket.
We share a brain cell. But if they did a magic medieval realm kind of like that, I think it could work because then it doesn't bleed into your regular gameplay too much. I actually don't know if Batu bleeds into regular gameplay because I don't have that pack. But if it doesn't, then you could travel to Magic World, take a little vacay, be magical for a little bit, and then come back to your regular, boring Oasis Springs life.
Yeah. Like for what I do is I just build sets and I just buy lots and I just put everyone in there and I just continue along with the set. At this point, that's the only thing I can do because like I just did like Homecoming and I just like, can I have more than 8 Sims there? So I had like a party and had brought everybody in and then I just made a black and white theme. And because I have so much CC, a lot of this stuff is super broken for black and white mods. So it was like a bunch of like different colored stuff. So it kind of worked out really well. But like that, I totally agree. Like it's hard because like I literally just learned that decor Sims were a thing. Like a couple weeks ago. I didn't know that was a thing because I was looking at people's stories and I'm like, how do you have like 100 people in this photo? And they're like, Stassi, It's Decor Sims. Here are all the links. And I think that's what I love about this community. I don't have to work hard. They do the work for me, which is amazing. Speaking of doing the work for me, so we all saw that EA is now starting to do game pack refreshes. What do you think the next game pack refresh is going to be?
Dine Out.
Thank you. Me too.
I also think it's going to be Dine Out.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm going to be selfish again. I want them to revamp Outdoor Retreat.
Okay.
Yes.
Those are my two.
Good idea.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to revisit your initial packs. It's so different now. That game pack feels like a stuff pack by modern Sims 4
it's
standards.
So empty.
Yeah, completely. And I know that you get the world, and I think adding a neighborhood or a world or whatever, that's like a check mark for EA, right? That means that that's a game pack.
Yeah.
That seems to be one of the criteria, you know. But you're so right. That pack, when you play it, has the bones of something really cool. Like the herbalism skill is cool.
Yes.
I rarely play with it because it doesn't actually intersect much. And this is a problem across the board. Collectibles don't really play well.
They don't matter.
With each other.
No. Yeah.
No. But if they could revamp that, I'd be here for it.
Same. Okay. Another problem with Outdoor Retreat is if you play with it with seasons, it's so hard to do the aspirations. It's so hard to do the herbalism skill because nothing is ever in season when you visit.
Yeah.
You have to go at like the height of summer to be able to collect everything. Otherwise, it's just not going to be growing.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Even with like a mod that makes everything being able to be gardened all year.
But still
doesn't work.
You're modding the solution. And they know that that's a problem, right? Because we talked about this, that in cottage living, we love the fact that the harvestables in cottage living are not affected by seasons. Yeah, you can harvest a watermelon, an aubergine, pumpkin whenever. The fact that they didn't have that play into seasons is like great. I love that. Mm-hmm. It means that whenever the fair falls for growing a huge crop, you can do that. And that's what they kind of probably need to retcon with the herbs and stuff from Outdoor Retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to say, I think we all cut each other. No, I totally agree. Melissa, go ahead.
Yeah, the gardening from seasons, like I really enjoyed the revamp until it started to play against me. Where it's so frustrating to try to have a garden year round.
Yeah.
Especially when you take into consideration cottage living, then you don't have your harvestables all year. So you're running out of ingredients if you're playing with the lot trait where you can only have fresh foods available for eating. So frustrating.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Which, I appreciate a little bit of a challenge, but
I love it. Now, speaking of cottage living, this is actually a really good segue. When I was on your podcast, cottage living was just starting to come out. We were just talking about it. And you asked me what my favorite expansion pack was going to be. And I literally said cottage living. And you're like, that's ballsy. It's not even out yet. I would like to say cottage living is my favorite expansion pack. I think it held up on all the promises. Unfortunately, and for me, it's still so glitchy. I still haven't really had a chance to fully play it, but I really like the build buy. I think that's for sure. Oh my God, it's amazing. Now for you guys, are you happy with cottage living? Did it succeed your expectations?
Yes. We've talked about this. We enjoyed cottage living a lot. Mm-hmm. It's difficult, which is new for The Sims 4. I was so poor. My sim was so freaking poor for so long. I ended up having to gold digger marry that really rich guy with a terrible marriage in the cottage living world.
Okay.
That's her solution to everything. Oh, I'll just marry someone rich. They'll take care of it.
Yep. Didn't actually manifest that in IRL, which is a real bummer though, right?
We're married for love. It's fine.
Stupid.
What a waste.
What a waste of my youth. But yes, it's difficult. I love the CAS assets, particularly. Okay. I think they're super cute. I love that they added actual storytelling aspects to the world. The fact that you can learn about the different Sims and they have what feels like real personalities. For once, since they promised that, way back in the first initial Sims 4 trailers, where it's like, oh, Sims have personalities now. Look at all these wacky emotions. Now it feels like they actually do. The callbacks to the crumple bottoms, love that. Immaculate. Like, they really did this. I feel like they listened.
Okay. I totally agree with you. Speaking of, EA listening or they don't listen, kits suck. Without a doubt. I do everything to bash kits left, right, and center. I've had console players scream out at me saying, you need to take a breath. You need to go outside. You're very angry. These are for us. They're not for you. They're for us because they can't have CC. So they need to have these little, like these kits to, make their game more whole. And I'm like, holy fuck, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I couldn't honestly, when I first started talking to you guys, I was like, oh, I don't use CC. It's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Now I can't live without CC. I don't know what I would do without it. And console players don't even have the ability to do it, especially console players, storytellers. I don't know how the hell they do it because you need poses. I preach every pose creator. You guys are awesome. You guys help out a lot, right? Now, the kid I specifically really want to talk about is the one that just came out this week. That's set. Oh, Melissa, I could see your eyes.
I know. I have thoughts and feelings about this.
Okay, well, this is perfect because we're at the thoughts and feelings part.
So, modern menswear just released this week.
It did. Did you like it?
No.
No. Okay.
I fucking hate it.
Did you hate it because? So Sims Twitter went on fire because men were wearing skirts and dresses. And then I was like, how do my men don't wear that stuff. So
okay, who cares? Let them wear what they want.
Yes.
Clothing is already not locked to gender.
I agree.
First off, gender is not locked to gender.
Yep.
Second off. I don't give a fuck what men wear. I give a fuck that these assets are so poorly done.
Yes.
They're so ugly.
Yep.
There was no polishing done. I was watching Urban Simmer go through the kit because she went through all the swatches and stuff. They didn't make sense.
Yep.
The clothing items don't match up well. And everything just looks like a first draft, really poorly. I mean, look at Cottage Living. Look at that pearl necklace we got.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful. And it's actually 3D. And then you compare it to that fucking shawl thing on top of a copied asset. So you have two of the same asset. One just has a goddamn shawl thing. And the shawl thing looks pasted on. It doesn't look like a scarf.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, EA. I'm not paying $5 for this bullshit.
I totally agree with you. I hate kits anyways. And I saw this. I actually thought it was a CC kit when I saw the tweet come through. I was at work and I was like, what the fuck? And then I opened it up. I was like, oh, this is a thing. So it's based on Stephen Cook's men's fall 2021 line. And I will say that the only credit I am going to give his fall line and the Sims pack, they do match. Because I went through for when I did a review and it like, you're like, yeah, that is it. Here's the thing. I think they played it way too safe. That's literally, it's all I kept screaming. I'm like, this is way too safe. Like literally look what Harry Styles is wearing or any non-binary person wearing that. Like fashion is fashion. To me, that wasn't high fashion. That was phoning it in. Because I have a couple non-binary characters that I play with, and Homecoming, I wanted them to wear what Billy Porter wore? I think it's to the Oscars. He wore the suit jacket and he had this giant dress underneath.
Yes.
I wanted to recreate that. And it looked so weird on guys because it just looked like it didn't fit because all the skirts are meant for girl Sims and all the dresses and stuff. So it looked really odd and it didn't look right. And that's why I was like, I really had hope that we were going to have something a little bit better. And then when I saw the ugly sweater contest game, I'm like, oh my God, people are buying that kit too. People are like, yes. Yeah. And I'm like, why? It irritated me so much.
Knitwear I'll give a what I like about it so that we can be a bit balanced. I really enjoy the knitwear in the pack. I think it's really cute. I even like the little splashy things. Sure. Get down with your bad self. I don't mind.
I'm trying not to shake my head at you, Amy.
I don't care.
I love you.
I also love the, like it's like a little floral design. But to be honest, you could have just like lifted and landed that and put it in Cottage Living and it wouldn't have looked out of place.
Yeah.
So I think that that's where the people who are saying, oh, you didn't push it far enough, that's probably where you're coming from. That if you could lift and land these pieces into other packs that we already have in The Sims, have you understood what modern menswear is? And I think that that's what you're talking about too when you're thinking about like glossy magazines at the moment with men on the covers. You know, they are pushing more boundaries and things like that. So modern menswear maybe is might actually be like a good name for what they ended up giving us. But what we've shown in the reaction, hopefully, is that they could do another kit in a similar vein, whatever. If it's going to be a kit, it's going to be a kit. We'll put a pin in the idea that we don't like kits for right now. But in a further kit to expand the offerings, like the cast assets for our masculine Sims, I think that there's a portion of the Sims community that has vocally said, hey, you could push this a little bit more if you wanted. Go a little bit more creative. Look what is out there, you know, maybe on the runway, etc. right now, and think, what could we defy further? What boundaries and binaries could we push further here and rip them apart?
I like that.
And not to completely shit on kits, I did like the Incheon Arrivals kit. I thought those assets were really very well put together. They mesh well, but they also stand out from what we have. What I think EA should do with kits, and this is me, not a game changer, I have no authority, give us stuff that is wacky. These are $5, $8, £4. We don't have to buy them. We've already proven that we aren't buying them. Use this to give people their wildest dreams.
Niches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Delve into a niche and deliver on it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Sims 4 furry pack or furry kit release come through.
I would buy that. Just for the fucking chaos of it. I'm not a furry, friends, listeners, countrymen.
She is.
But I love the idea of chaos in my game. This
you
just
can kind
isn't...
of be a furry already, though, right? There's a bear suit that came with Outdoor Treat, and then there's the hamster one that came with.
They're not fuckable.
Oh my God.
Be a furry if they're not fuckable, Amy.
That was my next question. Like, what if they ever had like a sex kit where you could like, you know, like do like different poses instead of it doing like whatever, wicked whims?
That'll never happen.
They would never do that.
Keep a teen.
They would never do that.
I don't know. I'm
leave that for wicked whims.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think it would be cute. Like if they ever did like a cute like lingerie pack, because all the lingerie is.
I would love that.
I would love that. I would actually maybe think about buying it.
Hey, if they want to do another collaboration, collab with fucking Fenty.
Yeah,
that would be gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
literally
exactly who came to my mind too.
Yeah.
But also the underwear category, like in The Sims 4 is obviously, I guess you would put it under, you know, sleepwear, is the least risque, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
That we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sims 3, especially with late night. Oh damn. If you had that pack, there was a lot of like garter belts and all of that kind of stuff.
Or even the Master Suite stuff. They had a lot of really pretty underwear pieces in that as well.
Yep. We need to get a little 50 Shades of Grey going on in The Sims. Well, there's a portion of The Sims that, again, 18 to 24 are the main players. We are adults. We're not saving ourselves for prom. We are adults. And it would make, you know, weirder sex scenes in photos because, like, honestly, I didn't know Sims porn was a thing until my first day on Instagram. I had no idea. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, oh my God. And my fiance walked by, he's like, is that porn? Is that Sims porn? I'm like, yeah, this is sex pose, boobs out, you know, little fuzzed out fake dick. But yeah, like I feel like, yeah, you guys are looking at
I'm
me.
so chaste when it comes to my Sims playing. I don't have wicked whims or anything like that. And they just do the woohoo. And sometimes I even leave them to do their little thing.
Did you guys see what it looks like when you woohoo? Like what it looks like, what your Sims are actually doing?
Yes, it's so.
Oh yeah, it's haunting.
It's haunting.
Yes.
I saw that and I was like, I don't know if I can ever woohoo again. Knowing that that's all they're doing. That's such a waste.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's creepy. I feel like they even, you know, like the blur, like getting rid of the blur, whatever.
Yeah.
Pixelation. Like that is weird too. Like I feel like if that's your niche and you enjoy that with The Sims, CC is definitely, and mods are the way that you have to go, because, you know, they're basically Barbies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
With your bad self.
Again, I told you what happened the first time I ever downloaded Wicked Whims. My character was butt ass naked coming out the shower, and I was like, no. I want to be able to, like, you know, turn it off and on instead of it just always being butt naked. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like we've had a fun chat about Sim stuff. I think this is a perfect time to talk about your podcast.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. So tell us a little bit about your podcast and what inspired you to start it.
Sure.
Want me to start? Sure. Yeah. Honestly, that's every podcast. Should I go?
Yes.
Should I go? So the pandemic, obviously, was really hard, and working from home was just honestly soul crushing. And Amy and I would be texting, you know, about The Sims, and we realized we had some hot takes, and we've always had hot takes about The Sims, but we wanted something that was kind of something to look forward to aside from the monotony of working our day jobs. Mm-hmm. Something that we could put a little bit of passion into aside from just screaming at each other over Facebook Messenger about what was happening in our Sims game. We decided to put on some headphones, break out the mics, and scream at each other through video chat, and then put it on the internet for people to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly that.
I love that.
And we've been playing for both of us for a really long time. So we felt like our knowledge base was there, that if we had something to say, that it was rooted in being in the community for a really long time. And sometimes with The Sims 4, and this is not a disparaging comment, but Sims 4 is where a lot of people have started with the game, right? And I think that what makes the community great is when you bring all of the voices together. So we thought, why not throw ours into the mix as sort of old timers in the community? You know, two people who have played every iteration somewhat compulsively and obsessively. You know, why not throw our opinions out there and see if they resonate with people? We also just love talking about it. And it was to the point where we would have conversations, and it was just genuinely like, why don't we just record this?
Yeah.
And that's what our podcast has really become, is us, you know, shooting the shit, having the conversations we'd be having offline anyway, but recording it and, you know, pushing it out there for people to agree or disagree with, right? And that's the other thing about the Sims community, is everyone has an opinion. I think that if not on here, Stacy, you have said it on your channel before, that Sims Twitter is on fire.
Oh God, yeah.
Often. You know, and the same for any kind of social media platform. When you're talking about the Sims, there are so many opinions out there, and we just thought, why not get involved in that? It's such a lively and vibrant community that why wouldn't you want to get more involved in it?
Yeah. And we're both podcast whores. I have more time listening to podcasts than I do music. And honestly, doing a podcast is something I've always really wanted to do. And so why not do it about something I love with a person I love?
Okay.
Right.
I'm proposing to you over video chat again.
I accept.
Let's run away together.
If we went to Utah, we could be multiple married, right?
Oh, you want to keep Alex?
Oh, should I not? That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Guys, I feel like this is a hot date. I should probably go.
The forbidden
pack Melissa wasn't allowed to have.
The forbidden pack.
Oh my God. I talked to somebody Simmers, like, because this would be my 23rd Simmer Spotlight that I've done. And I always ask builders, what was your favorite pack? And I've had 3 Simmers say hot date. And I'm like, wow. Like, wow. I'm talking like, I'm like, oh, I mean, like Sims 4, they're like, yeah, Sims 4 pack sucks. Hot date is where it's at. Bless their heart. Bless their little hearts. But
hot date was the blueprint that Melissa was never allowed.
I'm going to tell my mom. Look what you've deprived me of.
Oh my God. I have to ask you this because it's in the title. Do you actually speak Simlish? Or is it just a fun name?
Well, if you want to find out more, dear listeners, we have a whole episode where we challenge our partners to speak Simlish.
And it was fun and terrible.
It was a laugh riot. I'm so glad I didn't edit
it. Sims. And like, I think that
they're both white men.
They know nothing.
And they act like it.
No.
Oh my God.
Disparaging comments. But yeah, like I feel like a lot of Simmers pick up on Simlish if you play with it out loud, obviously. If you don't, whatever. But if you're playing with it out loud, you'll pick up phrases and you don't even flipping realize. The Sims 2 University is my favorite pack of all time, bar none, the best. And I used to sing along in Simlish to the college rock radio station. I listened to the songs, like the English counterparts, because they're all real songs, right? Yeah. On the college rock radio station. And I was like, oh, this sounds terrible. Like, I need my Simlish version.
This is incorrect. It's the wrong language.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I can't, sometimes it's weird when I'm like, you know, CC stuff and it's not in Simlish and it's in English. And I look, I'm like, this is not they don't speak English. It's Simlish.
I can't download it.
I can't know. I did it once. I was like, no, never again. No, that's awesome. I only know Susu. I think I've even said it wrong. That's the only Simlish I know. I've been playing since 2003, man, and I still don't know Simlish.
I feel like we need to have Stassi on to our podcast and do Simlish quiz again.
A Simlish quiz. That would be very fun.
Guys, I'm dyslexic. That's not fair. My brain. I would sit there and be like, what's this word? Or because like I've learned how to read differently. So I'd be like, this is awful. But anytime
we'll do it all audibly.
Yeah, we'll do it all audio.
Absolutely. But anytime, 100%. I love being on your podcast. That was actually the first podcast I was ever on. And you guys
are our first guest, I believe.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that encouraged me to create my own podcast. I was like, if these guys can do it, I can do it. But I felt so okay. I kind of asked,
dumb bitches can do it. I can do it.
No, you guys were so awesome. And I'm just like a walking fart joke. Okay. Like I can't take myself too seriously, but I was just like, I had a lot of fun listening to this. And I'm like, I want to do this. I felt so scared to tell you I was creating a podcast because I was considered like, you're gonna be like, burn a witch. She stole our idea. Like I was so scared of that.
No.
And I was like, no. And then I'm like, I'm going to do like my podcast is primarily just interviews. Like that's literally all. It's whatever Simmer spotlights I put on YouTube. I just take the audio and just throw it there because I mean, not everybody wants to, watch a video. They want to listen to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, my podcast gets way better viewership than my YouTube videos, like without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah. I
think there's something to like plugging in and like going about your everyday life, especially during the pandemic, that makes people feel a little bit less alone. Mm-hmm. And like that makes it sound really sad. I don't mean it in a sad way. Like I mean it in like a beautiful, connected way. That there are so many times that our world right now feels so overwhelming that you could just plug in and listen to, like if you're a regular listener of Stassi's podcast, that you plug it in, you hear her familiar voice, and there's something really like beautiful about that, especially when you think about the reach globally, that they live so many thousands of miles away from you. Mm-hmm. But they plug in, their headphones to listen to you and they feel closer and connected.
No, I absolutely agree. Like I was shocked because like now that I have enough listens, I can actually see where stuff's actually being listened.
Yeah.
It's actually not my family. I was actually really generally shocked by that because I just expect them to just listen because they have to because I force them. It's all in the UK. I was like, holy shit. I had somebody message me this week because the Simmed Up magazine picked up because I was doing it and they plugged it, which was really nice of them. I did not need to do that. And I had so many people be like, oh my God, I listen to this all the time. Like you're somewhat funny. I'm like, thank you. I am somewhat funny. Please put that on my tombstone. Somewhat funny.
Oh my God.
We'll make like a little Girl Scout badge for you.
Oh my God. Yes, please. I would wear that shit with pride.
I remember texting Amy about the first time we had a listener that wasn't from the UK or from the US. And just being like, oh my God, we're global. We definitely don't know this person.
It wasn't like, we're like, I'm not paying them to listen. They're actually listening. It's so cool. I mean, which will bring me to my next question. Since having a podcast, what have you learned the most about your audience? And what is your favorite podcast you've ever done so far?
Oh, that first one I'm going to have a think about because do you know, the second question, though, let me answer that one because it's actually one of our recent ones.
Okay.
I've started doing a series where we are exploring each Sims game.
Okay.
So
I've seen that.
We're committed to it. So we just did the Sims 1 base game. And before that, we'd done like overviews of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. And now we're going and deep diving into base game and we'll do like every pack that came with it. And the last one we did, we both independently texted each other afterwards to just say how much fun we had doing it. And I think that that's the way that we'll always measure our success. Was it our most listened to podcast? Absolutely not. The podcasts that get the most listens for us are the ones that are like news flashes, like talking about up-to-date current things, which I totally understand. I get that those will always probably get the most views, listens, whatever, right? You'll probably feel the same, Stacy. But just the fact that we could take a trip down memory lane together and bring together our experiences, have a laugh together and explore this game that has had such an impact in our life, hands down, my favorite one that we've ever done.
Yeah, I agree. I had a lot of fun doing that. And just so I'm not saying the same episode, I think one of my favorite episodes was the one where we did interview our partners. Because again, it was just so much fun. And it was, a little bit for us, a little bit for, just something fun to listen to, easy. But it was just a fucking riot. It was just so fun.
Yeah.
I also want to go on record and say that was literally the worst podcast I've ever had to edit.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Trying to keep them in line was so stressful.
It's like herding cats.
Oh my.
Although it did also prove that my boyfriend actually like actively listens. And that was just,
they got way more right than I thought that they were going to get right when it came to like Sims terms. Yeah.
They listen to us.
They do. That's why we picked them.
There you go. Finding good I love that. No, I think these are all good answers. Now, this is something that we talked about before we started the podcast, but I feel like we gotta circle around and bring this. Editing a podcast humbles the shit out of you. Agreeing?
Yes.
No.
The tics that you have, you'll never know. Other people probably know that, oh, that's Amy. She says a lot, or she says fuck a lot. Of course I do. But, going through and actually editing and listening to the things that you say or you repeat and all of that kind of stuff, you're like, oh, shit, I need to stop doing blank. Like there were early on, Melissa and I would go back and forth and be like, we have to do better at not doing, insert whatever we did terribly.
Talking over each other. Raise your hand if you want to speak.
I have something to say.
I actually don't find it too humbling. I feel a little more confident in myself, honestly. There's that but I don't hate my voice as much as I thought I was going to. At the beginning, I think I volunteered pretty readily to do the bulk of the editing. But we split it pretty much 50-50 now. But I was so afraid that I was going to just die of cringe listening to myself. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it made me feel a lot better about myself, and knowing that I can actually speak competently to a subject is really nice. And also I'm a dumbass, so I laugh at our jokes. So I'm just sitting by myself editing, laughing at my own jokes.
I like that. The reason I like to ask this, so I just interviewed the CCO of Game Her for the Simmers Digest. Oh my God, not the Simmers, Sims Up. Definitely not Simmers Digest. They needed it as a transcript. Oh my God. I say so much stupid shit. I don't realize you're saying it until you have to literally read it out. Oh my God. That humbled me the most out of everything I think I've ever done in my life, is taking the audio and then taking it to I've never had to do that before. Taking it to a transcript. I literally said, I'm never doing that again. Ever. No, it took me 9 hours to transcript it. I even had a program that did it, but I had to listen because I have, and then like, it wasn't smart enough, the program, to know like multiple people talking at once. So I literally would have to be like, fuck, she didn't say that. Pause and like have another line. It was awful. I'll never, interview was great. The transcript part was super awful, but.
Well, let me say something nice about you, because this is the thing. Well,
the floor is open for the next 6 hours.
Transcripts are so different, sounding good on paper versus when you speak is such a different thing. And when you speak wonderfully. You command the room. You are eloquent. The questions you ask are thoughtful. So just throwing that out there, that don't let that transcript damage any kind of self-confidence that you have about what you're doing.
Oh my God, Amy.
And it is a joy to chat with you.
Yes.
It was a joy to chat with you the first time, even when you, as you said, you had no experience on a podcast. You did wonderfully.
Yeah. You would never know.
And it is a joy to chat with you once again.
Can we like join? Can I join this marriage? Can we like? Yeah, sure. Can it be a 3-way marriage? I can cook for you guys.
Going to Utah after all.
There we go. Well, thank you guys. That means so much. I love your podcast again. It was my top podcast I listened to throughout this, and I don't listen to a podcast, but I came back to your guys' all the time. I really, really liked it, and I was just like, oh. And then I was like, I had to invite you back because you guys were like number one, and then. Amy, I gotta tell you something. So the first time we were supposed to have a podcast, we had to move it because your internet gave out. And I remember on record being like, I don't know how anyone can survive with the internet. This is crazy, blah, blah. That happened to me, and having to move another podcast. And people are like, do you not just want to do it? I'm like, no, there was a snowstorm and some idiot drove right into the internet, and I don't have internet for 3 days. My locks are internet. Okay. Like, my locks are Wi-Fi. I have the Wi-Fi lock.
Yes. Yeah.
I have fucking lights that are Wi-Fi. Okay. Yes. We had 72 hours. We didn't even know what to do with ourselves.
Yep.
What the hell do you do? We can't watch TV.
I hope you didn't think I was moving it.
No. I knew it was a true thing, but I just remember being like, who can survive without internet? I'm glad I don't have to do that. And then fucking karma bit me on the ass.
The world humbled you real fast.
Because I'm sitting there because we can't watch TV. I'm like, I guess we're going to watch DVDs because there's like nothing else to do.
Ancient relics.
We had to, so we have Rogers, so we had to call them and ask them for more data because like they knew it was a problem. Like there was nothing they could do. There was a snowstorm. They couldn't get out there fast enough to fix it. We went through 35 gigs of data in 3 days because we all work from home. We had to literally set up my phone was the hotspot. My phone could have baked cookies. That's how hot it was the entire 3 days. The fact that this 8+ is still standing after that is incredible. I did not expect that to last. So
yeah.
No, I always think about that conversation and be like, I got bit in the butt anyway with it. But anyways, So your podcast is under a year, which is amazing. And I love it because you guys are like the best Sims podcast out there when it talks to news stuff and just like the Sims gameplay. Like I've heard a couple of them now. You guys are the best. Like I can actually feel like you guys are having fun and enjoying yourselves and you're just doing it for laughs and you're doing it for giggles.
Can you just say that one more time?
Also, I think I was concerned first that Amy was okay. There you go. Your face was frozen on screen and you looked really serious while I was saying everything. And I'm like, oh my God, am I offending you?
I just messaged Melissa and I was like, you guys are froze.
It's you.
Oh my gosh. I just got a pop-up that says my internet connection is unstable.
Okay.
That's what we get for talking about it.
Okay. We're going to knock on wood. Find some wood. Knock on it. There we go. Okay. That's fine now.
My desk is wood.
Yeah. We solved internet problems. But no, you guys are amazing. You guys have a lot of fun. And I felt so honored that I got to be on your podcast. And I cannot wait to see what else the future holds for you. Now, I do have a couple more questions. I'm going to send you on your way because I'm lazy and I want to watch Harry Potter. Honestly, my fiance is not a big Harry Potter fan. Mm-hmm. So last night, like he was playing D&D and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have a nice bath. It's been a very stressful week trying to move the wedding for the second time and talking about babies again. It's just been a lot. So I'm like, I'm going to have a nice bath. I'm going to sit. So my fiance comes in. I'm just sitting on my phone, like reading stuff. And he's like, oh, you're not watching Harry Potter? I said, oh, I watched the first one. And he's like, okay. So like, are you going to watch any more? I said, of course. You can't do more than one day. You gotta like,
slow
reminisce.
down.
So he's like, well, what's your favorite Harry Potter? And I said, well, I really like 2 and 4 are my personal favorites. I really like 2. I think I like 2 better than 1. I know it's a controversial statement, but I just really liked 2. 2, I was a little bit older when I saw it in theaters. So I kind of really remember 2 more than I remember 1 in theaters.
Yeah.
And 4, obviously, it's kind of like the turning point where Harry Potter was no longer for kids. It was more for the adults. Mm-hmm. But like, I can't tell you what happens in 6. I had a really hard time because like Jason's like, oh, this is what happens in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And I'm like, well, Dumbledore dies, I think. Bellatrix burns down the Weasley house, I think. Like, 6 is the one I least remember out of all of them. 5 to me was really boring. Yeah. 5 and 6 are just like snooze fest because it's all dialogue. It's all working their way up to 7. But even 7 part 1 to me was really slow.
Yeah. So 4 is my favorite.
Yeah. So when I really like something, I live in a universe where after whenever it's done and I like it, I pretend the rest doesn't exist. I do that with Sailor Moon. After Sailor Moon season 3, 3, 4, and 5 just don't exist. They're awful. But anyways, like anything after Harry Potter 4 doesn't exist in my mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I actually have like a cute-ish story about Harry Potter.
Lay it on me.
So that's how my boyfriend and I got together is senior year of high school. He was like, oh, we should, when we were still just friends, we should watch Harry Potter like as a marathon. And so we did, like just the 2 of us. And that was how we like ended up getting together.
Oh,
he asked me out during the 5th movie.
Well, there you go.
Because you guys weren't paying attention to the movie and he was like, now's the time to make my move.
No, actually, there's a scene in the 5th movie where I think that's one with Umbridge.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she goes, male and female students cannot sit within a certain amount of space between each other. And he goes, oh, watch this, haha, and like scoots closer to me. And I like put my head on his shoulder. Okay, I'm done sharing. But that's how we ended up getting together.
Well, very, very, very cute.
10 years later, we're still together.
Hey,
it worked out.
It did.
Absolutely. I swiped left on, is it left or right on Tinder?
I don't know. I didn't ever go on Tinder.
I just pressed the buttons because I wasn't responsible enough to make sure to remember which one was which. So I pressed a button and then we fell in love. And now we're coming up. We just did 5 years together. And oh my God.
Wow.
We've had a lot go on in 5 years. Pandemic, job losses, moving to a different city, miscarriage. It literally has put it like, and I don't know if I said the pandemic, but pandemic. We know that we can survive anything at this point.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, and this is like the best advice I can give to anybody, dating, is we have a weekly check-in. So we sit down on Friday and we talk about our week. So say something bothered you, a one-off comment or just something. You talk about it on Friday, so it doesn't stew all like forever. Mm-hmm. And that has actually really helped our relationship. And now we don't actually really do them too much because now we're so open and freeing to talk about, like, you just said something that really hurt my feelings. And he'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or he'll say it to me. He's like, crawled up yours ass. And I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was being a bitch. I sometimes it's my tone. Sometimes I just, I'm a sassy bitch.
Mine is always my tone.
Right? Like,
it's just my natural state.
I'm like bitch with a little bit sweet on the top. Like I like to refer to myself as an ice queen. Like if I like you, and I'll do anything for you. If I don't like you, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I will do everything in my power to make sure to know that, like, we don't have to be friends. We can be in the same room, but we just don't have to like each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't even want to be in the same room with you if I don't like you. I will do anything I can to avoid you socially.
Really? Well, there you go. I think that's a really fun fact with Melissa. And I think this should lead us to our next question of, so what advice would you give to anybody wanting to start their own podcast?
Ooh.
Do it.
Good answer.
Just sit down and do it.
Oh. I was like, do what?
Do it. Just sit down and do it.
Like have sex?
Yeah. Record yourself having sex and put it on Apple.
Oh my God. I would listen to that.
No, but in all seriousness, if you want to do something creative like YouTube, like a podcast, just fucking sit down and do it, because the hardest part is getting started. Mm-hmm. Once you have it out there, it's so much easier to keep doing it. I think one of the scariest things was when Amy and I published our first episode. I was so scared of how we were going to be perceived. And just being perceived in general. I don't like being perceived. Hence the peacocking.
Yep.
But nothing happened. Nothing scary happened. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
It was out there and it was okay.
Yeah. And then for me, it would be that this doesn't have to be like an expense. Yeah. So yes, it helps if you can get your hands on like a decent microphone or whatever, sure. But what does that really matter at the beginning? Go back and listen to any of your favorite podcasts when they started out, especially if they weren't on a big channel, they started out just doing it themselves. Go back and listen to those episodes and listen to the audio quality, listen to the editing. Don't worry about that, because 9 times out of 10, you'll realize that they had to start somewhere too. And I don't know if we'll get in trouble for plugging things on
you can
YouTube.
Plug as much as you want.
Okay, so like Anchor is a really good free platform that you can put out your podcast on that's owned by Spotify. They will handle pushing it out onto every other platform other than Spotify for you as well. And there are paid versions of it, but you can get one that is completely free.
Highly recommend.
We edit using a completely free audio as well called Audacity. Super easy. You can even, you have to get like a little add-on to it, but it's not complex. And again, it is free, where you can extract the audio from a video file and still edit that and get the podcast out. Because Melissa and I like to see each other, even though it is a podcast, we like to see the social cues from one another when we're recording. And then we just extract the audio file into Audacity, edit it, free, get it up onto Anchor that pushes it out for us, free. Like, this does not have to be expensive for you to get started.
No, the only expense we had with the podcast is our art. We did hire an artist to do our art, but she's somebody we both know and we're good friends with.
Yeah.
It's my sister. She's a trained artist. And so we hired her to do our podcast art. And that was our only expense so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even when your friends are artists, you should pay them.
Yes.
Pay them. Record.
100%. Even if they say no to money, buy them something, take them out for coffee, appreciate their time. I absolutely agree with you. So for me podcasting, so I have Adobe CC because I use Photoshop for Rose Chronicles. That's how I put everything together. So it just comes with Premiere Pro because I pay the $30 a month because I'm a student. And it is what it is. I use RSS to push my podcast through. I tried Anchor at the beginning. I was okay with it. I just like RSS better. It gives a little bit better marketing metrics. And because my fiance is a teacher, I get the teacher discount, and it's $4 a month.
Not bad.
So still really reasonable.
Yeah,
it's really reasonable, right? Yeah. So like for me to do everything for Sims stuff, it costs $70, almost $70 a month for me to do everything, because I pay for professional Zoom. Because I like Zoom over Skype. I like that stuff. And I've literally taken that $70 out of my personal life and are able to put it in here, because I don't drink I haven't drank in a long time. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't really shop for myself. This is me. And like, I can't put and I can't wait to make more money off this one day. But what also helps is now I do voice acting stuff and I get paid, which is very nice. Yes. But helps set the cost. Right. But yeah. But anyways, no, that's good. Again, let people know stuff you use, because like I get messaged all the time. They're like, are your cat headphones really worth it? The answer is yes. But you're right. Like I went back and I listened to my first YouTube video. I had a $30 mic from Amazon, and it was shit. Now I have a blue, I can't show you because it would fuck up my sound, but it's a blue ice ball thing. I had a local TikToker sell it to me for $10.
Awesome. It works,
right?
I have a $20 mic from Amazon that works.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. I think Amy, you have the same one, but in black, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just figure it out. Like if you ever get the opportunity to upgrade, then that's awesome. But I feel like a lot of people are much more forgiving than you would ever give them credit for. Like if your audio isn't perfect, that's not going to turn them off of what you're saying and things like that. So if you feel like you have something to say, do it. And then also if you have any questions, like reach out to us, DM us, yes. Those DMs, whatever you want to, if you want to talk to us about these things, we are so open to it. Because, Stacy, I can't remember now if you said it before or during the podcast. It's okay. Because time is a blur. But, that you were worried that we would be mad at you for some reason for starting a podcast. Like, hell no. We want there to be like floods of Sims podcasts. We want all of our voices out there, because only when we're all expressing ourselves can we really come together and be strong as a community.
Yeah. And I'm not going to speak for Amy, but I'm so honored that we inspired you to create your own podcast. Yeah. We created a podcast because we saw a bit of a gap in the market. From my own research, there aren't many podcasts about video games, girl games. There's not many podcasts about The Sims.
No.
So why not fill that gap?
Exactly. Well, that's exactly it. Right. And I want to do something differently because I love interviewing people. I have a really good skill at it. For anybody who's wondering, a lot of the stuff I send out pre-questions before, but the rest of it comes in my back pocket. I think of stuff along the way. I really enjoy it. It gives me energy for the rest of the day. But like, I don't know if I could sit and talk about Sims history. I think I would get bored. I'd actually fall asleep. Not that yours was boring. It's just like, I just can't do it.
We're nerds.
Speaking of you guys being nerds, so you're coming up to, it's almost been a year, but it's like what, 9 months, 10?
We started in May. And I'm bad at maths. So
7 months.
That one. There.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what goals did you have for your podcast for the first year? And what are your goals for year 2? Melissa, your turn.
So my goals were to have fun originally and just to learn. I really wanted to learn how to edit audio just how to do a podcast, just because I find them fascinating. And I'm always listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think for next year, my goal would be to get sponsorships.
Okay.
To find out a way to get some kind of money generating, because I really want to hire somebody to do a jingle for us so that we have our own audio, like music. and just to continue with the podcast and maybe have more of a regular schedule than what we have right now.
Okay. These are all good goals. And I think they're very achievable. And I mean, if you need help with marketing, I'm one stone throw away, and I can always help you and point you in the right direction, or help you write any letters you need to do, or if someone gives you a letter and you think they're lowballing you, like I can tell you yes or no, this is a fair deal. It's what I do. Well, you can work on it. So I do every day. Right. So I love helping people with marketing, because it's a hard niche. Because a lot of people have asked me in the last year, like, oh, like you must buy your followers. I get that all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm just really good at what I do. If I wasn't good at what I was doing, I wouldn't have a job. So, but
that's such a weird thing to accuse someone of.
That's a very rude accusation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I get, because like,
followers.
Oh, I get it all the time, because like some of my posts, it depends on the algorithms that Instagram will pick up. Like I might only get like 50, 60 likes, and I should have an average of 350 at all my posts, right? Because you want 10% of your followership should like your photos. But at the end of the day, like only 200 people saw this because it didn't get picked up by Explore. It stayed there, right? Yeah. And that everybody likes everything they see.
Right.
Yeah. So, I get it. Oh my God, your voice is annoying. You should stop what you're doing. You should put makeup on. You should do your hair more. Your voice sucks. Why do you hum sometimes? You're dyslexic, but I see you read. Oh, I've been thrown a lot of things my way.
Oh, the makeup thing is so fucking annoying. Because someone in the same breath will tell you to put it on, and then will tell me and Melissa that we're wearing too much.
Yeah.
Right? It's either you're a whore because you wear too much makeup, or you're boring because you don't. It gets like, honestly, at this point, like you could, like anyone can throw anything at me. It's not the worst insult I've heard in the ducks
back. Like,
oh yeah,
like we are adult women. You think that what you're saying is going to hurt our feelings,
right?
You think I haven't heard worse, motherfucker?
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't thought worse, motherfucker.
I appreciate when someone calls me a bitch, and I'm like, yes, that means I got so far under their skin that that's the only word that they could possibly think of to describe me. That makes me so happy with my life choices to bring me that to moments. But
newsflash, stranger, I am a bitch.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the compliment.
I wouldn't be where I am if I wasn't a fucking bitch.
Exactly. I'm sorry. It's true. Especially women in the workplace. Like we have to be bitches so we can count our male parts, because they're going to get it before us. And then if we're not a bitch, or we don't show good leadership, which is being a bitch, we don't get it. It's like, it's a double-edged sword. You're a bitch, but like, we like you being a bitch because you get shit done. What? Yeah. Anyways, I feel like this has been a fun podcast. We should cap this up. This is the longest video I think I've ever done. We're clocking it at an hour and 30. And please note that like, I'm really bad at editing. So most of the stuff will stay in here.
Amy, we like hyped each other up, and we're like, okay, she doesn't edit as much as we do. Be on your best behavior.
We did say that. We did. We like, be on your best behavior.
I was like, I will think before I talk. I don't think I did it the whole time, but I tried.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, it's the whole sense of being unplugged. Just say what you want. I don't care. Like, unless like everyone on this call has said we're not going to be an EA game changer. No one in this call is ever going to be an EA game changer, because EA can't pay me to suck their dick hard enough to plug something that's bad. Yep. I've said it. Don't care. It's true. I mean, you guys, but that's what it is, right? I mean, it's the same thing with an influencer. How much money? Now, if EA is like, I like your attitude and I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. Oh, fuck yeah. I'll pay a bill. I'll sell out. I don't care. It's money. I'm not selling my soul to the devil.
Yeah, I'll plug whatever kit you want me to.
Right?
I'll plug it.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I like it.
In the next post, I will say I don't actually like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Like, I don't know. And to me, it is what it is. And like, if you like me. And if you don't, you don't. And then if you don't like me, then move on.
Yeah.
I'm outspoken. As my fiance says, my ego enters the room first, and then I follow. And it's very true.
And enjoy this hour and 30 minutes of our egos entering first.
I'd like to confidently say I think we're over 100 ums. And this is also I like the swear words. Because like sometimes people will be like, they'll be like, oh, damn. And I'm like, they're like, can I swear? And I'll be like, fuck yeah, you can swear. And they're like, oh,
Yes.
good. And then that's the only swearing they'll ever do.
That sounds fucking ridiculous.
I fucking agree.
Such a goddamn shame.
Oh, I like what you did there. Anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please go check out Speaking Simlish. It is on all music listening platforms. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yes. Yeah.
Their Instagram links are going to be below. Please go listen to them. They are amazing. This was just a snippet of what their podcasts are like, but theirs is way better than mine. Mine's just for fun.
Ours is also for fun.
Oh yeah, yours is way more fun, but you edit out the stuff you don't want to listen to. I'm just like, it stays in. It's fine. We had this conversation. To be fair, I have had to edit out some people's comments because they're like, I shouldn't have said that. And I'm like, no, because then it doesn't flow right. Because when you have a video, you can tell when stuff is gone because we're in a different spot.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot easier to clean up audio.
So much easier.
A lot of the time it's cleaning up dog barking.
no dogs have barked this time, which is good.
Mine groaned when I said something about my partner.
Oh, well, it didn't get picked up.
Yeah, I don't think it did, but he's in here. He's groaning.
Mine have drunk water. They've shook. That's probably in there.
Oh, I've seen your pets walk through. Mine is asleep on the couch over there.
Bless.
Yeah, she's a cat. She's just, she's over there. But anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, no, of course. Again, please go listen to their podcast. It's amazing. And have a great rest of your day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.